Happy Friday. I know it's not Wednesday, and I think I did promise a video on Wednesday, but trust me, this was worth the wait. I got to have the chance to talk to the individuals at the Babe Bodega, Emma, Joanna, and Alyssa, to discuss the beginnings of the business, some of the struggles, some of the challenges, some of the great things that they're having coming up. And so I just wanted to give this video the time and dedication that it needed. I hope anyone who's watching is enjoying, and if you're sitting here wondering what is the Babe Bodega, don't worry, you come to the right place. I hope everyone gets a chance to visit the Babe Bodega. They have events almost every single Saturday, so bring your sister, bring your man, bring your date. It's a great place to be. You can get permanent bracelets done, you can get custom lip gloss done, you can get a facial, you can do your brows, or you can just browse around all of the collections that they have, from clothing to cars to skincare. It's just a great place to be, and the downtown Wheaton area is actually very pretty. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
I'm Emma. I'm the manager here at the Babe Bodega. I am also an esthetician, and you can find me doing facials, brows, the custom lip bar, and permanent jewelry.
My name is Joanna, and I am the owner of the Babe Bodega, and you can find me doing a lot of different things: permanent jewelry, color matching at the lip bar, lip gloss, lipstick. You won't find me doing any skin or brow services though.
I'm Alyssa at the Babe Bodega. You can find me both behind the custom lip bar or permanent jewelry. And just like Joanna, definitely not on the esthetician side. We leave that to Emma.
Wow. Okay. So the Babe Bodega started as a mobile-based business. So the Babe Bodega started as a different business entirely and eventually blossomed into where we are today. So I think the biggest first step in starting any business is being able to prove concept. And so for me to be able to open a store, I wanted to prove concept with our services and our ideas, our missions, our values, our goals. So we started doing farmers markets, boutique pop-ups, private parties at homes and businesses all over the Midwest. And that kind of propelled us. We saw a need, and our guests came to us like, where can we come on Tuesday? Where do I find you on like Thursday afternoon? And at the time it was like, oh, this Saturday morning I'm here 8 to 2, that's it. If it's not Saturday morning, I don't know how to help you. We realized that we needed a space like this.
So Joanna and I have been in each other's lives for a decade or more. I want to say probably more, like closer to 15 years. About probably like 6 months before opening the Babe Bodega, Joanna and I went to dinner one night at a local restaurant, and she told me about everything. She told me about the concept. She told me about what this is going to be like. And Joanna has the most vivid imagination of anybody, and like doesn't miss a thing. Like, she thinks of every single thing. And like, I was so fueled by her passion speaking about it. And what it made me almost emotional. And almost making me emotional now. Just like watching her dreams come true, and that she was so kind to have me at the front of her mind when doing so, and it took some time for me to transition to being in the Babe Bodega, but it has been the best decision of this era of my life so far.
Like Emma, Joanna and I met about 15 years ago. So I was actually living in the Caribbean before I moved back to Illinois. And Joanna and I kind of had some random conversations over the years about like different milestones we were hitting. So Joanna actually got married, and then I had a baby, and we kind of like kept in touch during those times. But once I moved back, I was looking for a job, and I had already seen all of the posts Joanna was making about the Babe Bodega and on her Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And I was really inspired by the work she was doing. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey girl, are you looking for somebody to join your team? And she's like, come check it out, see what we got going on. If it's for you, it is. If it's not, no hurt feelings. Everybody that walks in the door is so inspiring. So working here is definitely inspiring.
I would say, gosh, roadblocks, speed bumps, potholes, a dime a dozen. And I think that opening a business and running a business are two very kind of separate things. And I think that the roadblocks that come with opening a business and the hurdles you jump and learn to cross only prepare you for the additional hurdles and roadblocks and potholes that you start to go over and hit once you are running a business. And so I think for me, some of the biggest hurdles in opening were like many other young and women entrepreneurs, finding a space, a location, a landlord who were willing to put trust and faith in me and my ideas, which is a lot easier said than done. So developing really good relationships with the community, with the Downtown Wheaton Association, with the City of Wheaton, and utilizing those resources into finding a space and asking for help and assistance and not being afraid to ask for help and assistance when you need it. And I think something that like we didn't expect was the increase or the traffic that we had during what many retailer salons call their slow season. So we do a lot of seasonal hiring. Summer and holiday are our big seasonal hire times, naturally parting ways with some of our college and seasonal winter employees, but then really meeting them when it came to January, February, March, we maybe not are in a seasonal position.
A slow season. For me, I think a couple things that I've realized have made a great impact on the way that stress is handled is extremely open dialogue, communicating everything, and also learning how your coworkers, your manager, your boss, how they like to communicate and how they best receive feedback, issues, those types of things. It's kind of like the love languages in a way, almost literally how do they receive this and how do I receive, and kind of just learning those things about each other so that you can remain on the same page without any turbulence or unnecessary turbulence, added turbulence.
I feel like building off the last question and this question as well, though, when we hit a roadblock, I think what helps us a lot is that we all, as much as we have alike, we all are very different as well. So we're able to bounce off of each other and maybe get new ideas or try to solve a problem together, because we all definitely think very differently, even though we may have a lot in common. So that's definitely a good thing when you're trying to tackle roadblocks, is just kind of keeping an open mind, but at the same time taking advice.
And I think that it involves a lot of ability to self-reflect and look at yourself and what you are doing and how you are responding or delivering advice or feedback or notes or anything, and trying to understand how you would receive what you are giving, and having it land and be understood in the most effective way possible. I find that the biggest and the most stresses, or the most seen or felt stresses, come from when we're not filling our cup or taking care of ourselves. It's not necessarily a work thing. It's a work is just one more thing in the mix. And so for me, a big focus is trying to make sure that the self-care, the cup filling, making sure that you're fed and watered and caffeinated, and all of those self-care things are getting met, so that you can not only be good for yourself, but for your guests and for your team, and making sure that at the bare minimum your homeostasis is achieved, so that you can be as positive and as beneficial for your coworkers and your friends. How long do we have? I'm gonna cry. So I think that women supporting women as a whole is this almost this like trope or this gimmick these days where it's like women supporting women. And here what I found is that like it's really true and it's really possible. Like Allison Orr from the Downtown Wheaton Association, Jonna from the Cottage, Leslie from the Wheaton French Market. I could name Leslie from Life of a Wheaton Mom, Patty from Glen Ellen Mom's Village, Sonia, right? I could name so many amazing women, and I will provide you a list, absolutely. Because I think it's understated how often and how much the power and the support of women like goes into small business, goes into these communities, and we are like blessed. Every day I think about how blessed we are to have found our place, our space, and to have like our people find us. You know, it's a really powerful thing to watch people walk in here and connect with what we do, what we offer, who we are, the colors, the space, the vibe. It's emotional. My goal is always to make it so perfect. And so sometimes it's like it's as perfect as it can be, but I only want it to be better for all the women who have like continued to help and support and pour love and their souls into here, making it possible to do this.
Our goal is always to bring out the best in everybody, right? So like when you come in here and you like feel the like happy vibe and we want to uplift you, I think it brings that out in others.
I feel like also there's a big shout out that is due to all of our little girls that come in. And I feel like that we are so blessed in that respect because we get to teach them how to love themselves and be woman-loving women before they're even probably thinking about that. So definitely getting to see the little girls walk in and be like, it's beautiful here, it's pink, but getting to see them walk out just as happy and feeling beautiful.
Oh, so many things. So number one, on a very short term, I am really excited about what we're doing for Mother's Day. We have a super fun month of events, which right in the middle, you'll have our Mother's Day high tea experience, which is going to be a fully catered experience, 2 people at each table, a true high tea luxury event for you and mom, or you and a friend, you and a gal. So that's really exciting coming up. But I think for us, the community and the connection, bringing all those things together is our focus in the short term. So all of our local events, all of our community driven workshops, all of our market days and our experiences, parties in store, that's really our bread and butter right now. But that's not to say that there aren't things in the works for the future. I would love to see a Babe Bodega in every city in the world. I mean, that's the goal, is like total world domination. So I think very real things we're considering would be like franchise opportunities. What does it look like on a mobile scale, on a store scale, to offer this ability to connect and create with women to other women? I would love to be able to have other women be like, I would love a Babe Bodega for myself, for my community, for my, town and friends. So I think for me, if I can, make that happen rather than like going and opening up a bunch of them, that would be my goal. I think my favorite place or space in the Babe Bodega is probably the aesthetics chairs. They were a labor of love for me to source and procure and wait for them to get onto the boat and arrive by boat, then get onto the truck and arrive by truck, and then have me and one very, very capable lady, dolly, forklift driver figure out how to get them inside. But I think that, the esthetician, I feel like the esthetician chair should be your favorite. Probably not my favorite.
Could be both of our favorites,
I guess. But I guess if it wasn't the esthetician chairs, it'd be the lip bar. For me, the lip bar is super cool. It's versatile. It actually collapses back into itself. So if we ever need to put it away for a big party or something, we could. But the lip bar has been just like the focal point of the store. It's so much fun, and we love having people sit there and make products with us.
I wanted to say the lip bar, but I'm actually going to say the big black table in the center of the Babe Bodega because it is multi-purpose. So we use it for our candle pouring events. We use it for our lip events. We've used it for our ready-to-wear jewelry. So kind of like we're building this community, and I feel like that table is kind of where we build our community, because everything at the Babe Bodega revolves around that black table, including the building.
That's such a good point. Oh my gosh. My favorite place in the Babe Bodega is behind the esthetician chair. It brings me a lot of joy to make people's aesthetic dreams come true, especially with like brow transformations and things like that. I love when someone walks in and thinks that you can't make them look as good as they want them to look, and then you do, and then they're really, really happy. It's the best.
So I think that one thing, if you've never been to the Babe Bodega before, it's not that pink. The Babe Bodega is for everybody. We see babes in all different walks of life, coming from all different backgrounds, able to connect and enjoy our services. So don't think ever by looking at the Babe Bodega that the Babe Bodega is not for you. The Babe Bodega is for everybody. It was built for every person on earth to come in and enjoy beauty services for themselves, for someone else, with someone else. You know, it's not something that is exclusive. Being a small business, sometimes an unhoused business, that's what I called myself before we had this space. It was a business that didn't have a home. You know, it was a business that floated around in space wherever people wanted it. And for me, I think that being able to give yourself an address, give yourself a sense of identity in square footage is really important when you're talking about building or growing a business, a brand, a network, a community. So my struggle in building the Babe Bodega and in transitioning into a space was finding space and finding people who are willing to work with me or accept my dollars to come in and, you know, sell my goods or services. And it was a big uphill battle to find places that were willing to host pop-ups of sorts. So the overarching theme for us here at the Bodega is that, like, if you are a business who needs space, the space is here for you. And we are happy to help promote, provide the space, do whatever we can to help you further your dreams as we're furthering our dreams. So we don't charge vendors for any space to pop up here. We have a special day, the second Saturday of every month, where small businesses, it's called Small Business Second Saturdays.
I would say probably the number one way would be through our Instagram, the Babe Bodega.
And I would say, like, personally, if you want to get in contact with me personally, Alyssa personally, Emma personally, put that in the subject line of your Instagram message, of your email. A lot of the correspondence goes to multiple people on the team, so your messages will get seen. We're pretty good about responding to people promptly.
And I would say across the board, for anybody that you want to get in contact with, our goal is to always accommodate. And also, if we don't have the answer, we will get it.
Yes, we'll find it.
And I feel like
in that answer for you.
And lastly, I feel like, of course, I mean, you can always reach us by just stopping into the Babe Bodega.
Absolutely. Give us a call at 630-277-9627. You can, like Alyssa said, stop in. We are literally always so happy to see your smiling faces. So come by, say hi, let us know how we can help you.